Hi, my name is Daryl and I'm Ice Ice Ice. I'm from Team Zenith and I'm from Singapore. I'm trying to become a full-time gamer / streamer.
My name is To Wai Hong and I'm from Team Zenith. My nickname in the game is XY and I'm from Singapore. For me, winning this international is not just about the prize pool. It's about the achievement of your effort, of what have you put in through these years to play at such a level.
Well, we try to prepare for the international by playing every single day if we can. It started out online the past month. We have been training with Orange every single day, and for the last week we tried to meet up more often to train together in a LAN setup. Well, during boot camp last week, there was a small argument, I guess, between me and X-Freedom. I got pretty pissed off at him for giving up the game, and I wanted to hit him. So instead of hitting him, I did some stupid angle hop and punched the wall. I punched through a dry wall, and I injured my hand. That's about it. It's actually 4 days ago. Yeah, we are pretty cool now.
This international, if I'm able to win it, to me it's a sense of achievement throughout the years that I've played Dota, as this is one of the most prestigious competitions in the world.
I like that there's a community support in this tournament, which means everyone plays a part.
I don't think we have any opponents that we don't have to face at any time, because if we want to be champion, we should be confident of beating anyone in this tournament.
Chochi Chai, Ice, Johor Bahru, Malaysia.
Nicholas Lim, Freedom, Singapore.
To Wai Hong, XY, Singapore.
Ng Wei Pong, NWP, Johor Bahru, Malaysia.
Daryl Cole, Ice Ice Ice, Singapore.
Team Zenith then, the 5 members that, they need to be confident, they should be confident. They've got some great level of play individually. Ice Ice Ice, X-Freedom, Ice Yamate and XY, and even just mentioning Ice Ice Ice, I believe he's in the grand finals of the solo championships.
Yes, take place later tonight.
Yep, and that's got to be a little bit of a confidence boost to know that you're in the finals.
Isn't this our trophy for it?
Yeah, this is actually the trophy, which is sat just above the Aegis of the Immortal. I believe it's a Divine
It is
Rapier.
Divine Rapier, yeah.
Yep. And the winner of the solo championship will be taking that home, and that will be closing us off today.
Unless someone ganks him and he has to drop it.
Yes. It's very possible, unless he's got an Aegis.
Yeah.
So we'd have to win both tournaments
exactly,
to
so
really
you can
secure
actually
the 1v1 trophy as well.
That is much better.
Maybe that's his plan. But let's talk about Zenith. Let's talk about them on an individual basis again. You know, who stands out for you? But if you want to, what kind of play style have they brought to the tournament?
I mean, Ice 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 is clearly the strongest player on their team. Recently, he's rotated from the 3 position in the off lane into a more carry role. I saw him play Weaver. He went like 11-1, but still unable to carry them to victory. So sometimes I think that the other members drag them down, and if they can actually perform well, then I think they can take this home.
Is Ice 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 being dragged down? Malk, Bruno, is that?
I don't necessarily agree. Did you just call Ice 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 a better player than Yamate?
Yamate has fallen. He loves Razor, though. They love their Razor.
You know what? I'm going to break it down to you. This is actually thanks to LV, because he just gave me an insight right now. I think Zenith is going to lose this. I think Ice 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 is their best player, but he's wearing pants today. Oh, yeah. Well, the game is over then.
They can't win. You know, Ice 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 says he plays the best when he's not wearing pants. Actually, last international, he played the game just wearing his boxers. It's not the case this time. Maybe he's saving his boxer strat for the 1v1 matchup.
I know, I was sitting in the booth nearest the Zenith booth and watching his very beautiful legs.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
it was very hard for me to focus on the game.
Have they forced him to wear pants? Is this what the international is? We all become very professional now?
No. Well, we're killing esports here. Come on.
Killing esports. No pants.
No pants, please.
All right then. Let's meet the opponents of Zenith. It is of course going to be Virtus Pro.
I'm Yaroslav Kuznetsov. My nick is NS. I'm playing in Virtus Pro. My hometown is Moscow, Russia. So many good teams here. To be honest, all 16 is really good ones. And Europe really now can be compared to China. I don't think it's going to be China domination like last year. I think now it's going to be really mixed top 8 with maybe half of Europe and half of China. And I really can't say who's going to win. Now I'm captain of Virtus.pro, but to be honest, I don't really like this role. I make this because I'm most experienced player in team, I think. But I try to do this role good. Try to do my best for team and for my fans and for myself. When Dota 2 come, all of these people just come to a new game and proceed playing and so on. Now it's biggest, one of the biggest community in the world, and I really enjoy it because I know how many people is watching Dota and how many people is watching us. I feel like how many people now watching me and my team, how many people want us to win or just show good game. It's really important and I really like it, and I really want to say thank you to everyone, our fan.
Sergey Revin, Arsart, Moscow, Russia.
Колесниченко Олег, Crazy, Kaliningrad, Russia. Певцаев Илья, Illidan Storm Rage, Moscow, Russia.
Сергей Кузин, Кси, Одесса, Ukraine.
Kuznetsov Yaroslav, NS, Moscow, Russia.
Virtus.pro, how many people are watching them? Well, I can tell you they're going to have a lot of fans. Dota is very big over in Russia, Ukraine, and I'm sure they're all tuning in to root for these guys. C, NS, Crazy, Arsart, and Illidan. And Arsart is the veteran of the team. NS is the captain. He says he doesn't like the role. They've done so far okay. They haven't had any big wins over big teams yet, but today, in a best of one, anything can happen. They're a team that can play very well on an aggressive style, like aggressive tri-lanes. What do you guys expect from them?
I expect a lot of aggression, like you just said. They're probably the team to show the most aggression, the Russian playstyle. The reason NS is the captain, I figure, is because he's the most experienced player in all of Europe. He's the player that has been playing the longest. He's been playing longer than I have, longer than Fear has, longer than Light of Heaven has. NS has been around forever.
All right, well, we'll see if he's able to bring out a win here, because we're about ready to go into the game. So we're going to throw it over to the hall for the match. And of course, it's VP versus Zenith. Best of luck to both teams. Take it away, commentators.
Team Zenith versus Virtus.pro.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll welcome you back to Banner Royal Hall, home of the Seattle Symphony, as we watch an elimination match between Zenith and Virtus.pro. Zenith, your Malaysian Singaporean team from
the Southeast Asia.
Thank you for filling in the blank. And of course, Virtus.pro from
turn to ban. Eastern Europe.
Of course. The wacky duel. I'm Luminous, and here's alongside with me, LD Dota.
Yeah, to me, Virtus.pro and Zenith, two of the scarier teams in the tournament. If I'm IG, I'm watching this, I'm saying, well, I have no idea what these teams are going to do. IG, I don't think they have an easy win over either team. It's going to be a best-of-1 format. No matter who advances, to me, Virtus.pro, Zenith, these are two teams that could take anyone off in a single game. It's going to be tough for whoever IG has to, or for IG, whoever they have to face. But now the draft well underway. Let's dive into it. It was a first pick Visage from Zenith. Pretty standard bans here. In fact, the 4 most common bans. The reply from VP was a quick Chen, Queen of Pain. Now the Naga picked up by Zenith. Generally, we've seen a lot of support Naga, but Ice, he's been playing the one role for this team. Probably the most talented Naga Siren player in the world to me. Fantastic micro skills. We could well see a farming Naga this game.
I think right now what speaks the most to me is a Tinker ban. Generally, you don't ban out this hero. I mean, Zenith, sure, they have great Tinker players in the world, but I think this hero ban is directly allowing them to do some crazy strat. We talked about it. This team, I think they are the most versatile team out of the 16 team competing right here. They could do your rat Dota, as you like to call it. Basically, you don't fight them. You just farm, dodge fights. Or you go the full 180 and go aggressive. And when their backs are against the wall, they love to pick Axe. I know James out there is expecting one. I'm expecting one. And when you ban Tinker, that's generally a good sign of Axe coming.
Yeah, if they want to go for an axe here, you want to get strong solos then, because when you run an axe, generally, in fact, almost always, you aggressive tri-lane, you want to creep skip, take the tier 1 down fast. Chen's a good hero for that, and then you want really dominant 1v1 heroes that don't need any help. So they pick up a Queen of Pain, it leaves the option open for the axe, but I mean, we're talking about an axe. They could go a little bit more standard here. There's still a Weaver in the pool. Naga's pretty decent against Weaver if you have sentries, but not a whole lot of lockdown just yet. VP definitely have their options open. Weaver actually just getting banned out now, and it's on to VP for the pick. If they want to go axe, they'll probably save it. There's no need to pick it up now.
Let's jump to the other side. Let's talk about Zenith. I think we could agree that they're probably, in terms of rating them by talent, one of the most talented team in the entire world. I mean, if these teams play like coordinated Dota, I think they're perhaps even better than Navi.
Yeah, just
better
raw,
than Alliance. They are amazing.
I don't know if I'd say they're better, but with raw individual skill, there's not many teams that can best Zenith for sure. And I mean, maybe Orange, I'd say, is the one team from Southeast Asia that can match or even surpass them there, but they're extremely talented. Where they do struggle sometimes is the drafting and the execution in-game. And ultimately, Dota is a team game, not just an abstract measurement of your skill. So we'll have to see. Rubik picked up by VP, still could be the axe strat if they want to go for it. Zenith so far, not really tipping their hand. I mean, to me, they're a team that's strongest with split push with XY's Tinker, Ice is Naga. The Tinker is removed. We've seen quite a bit of Darkseer from XY as well in that offlane role, something he could turn to again.
I think Darkseer will be a great pickup here. Just a good team fight hero. It complements Naga very well in terms of giving better team fight, but they want a gyro couple.
I actually like this a lot, because the next pick could very well be that Darkseer. Then you've got a great AoE combo. Vacuum into cooldown, and you have the Naga Siren Sleep to set it up as well. Lots of AoE damage, good crowd control from them, and to me that's more of what Zenith have. When they've won, it's generally with strategies like this. So we could very well see a gyro going mid for Yamate, safe lane Naga tri-lane, and then that would leave XY Darkseer. It is available. I'll be kind of surprised if they don't go for it here.
Yeah, there's a Clockwork pick up here on Virtus Pro, so I think we're on point to see something very, very aggressive, something that dives. There's a Darkseer that we both predicted, so team fight is going to be insane. Naga Sleep, Vacuum, a little bit of TI2 nostalgia, and of course you have Call Down to follow through. A ton of damage output from your Flat Cannon. Your Chen, your Queen of Pain, and your Rubik could be in a little bit of trouble.
If you're VP, you simply do not want to fight 5v5 unless you've got an item/level advantage. So an early mech, an early Hand of God, Queen of Pain having a level 2 ultimate before Zenith have theirs. If they have an item and level advantage, they can definitely take those fights. But with the way Zenith's team composition stands now, very good split pushing, strong blading stage, and great mid-game team fight. To me, Zenith a little bit more well-rounded, but a lot of it does come down to this last pick. VP banning out the puck. Doesn't seem like they're expecting a solo mid gyro, but I think we very well could see one.
So far, neither team has gone crazy mode on us just yet, but it very well could be. I mean,
I see what you did there, by the way.
Yeah. Virtus Pro, I mean, we talked about what they have picked up. Zenith in the past, sometimes they even run strategy where you don't even ban a single hero. It's like, you can pick whatever you want, and we still beat you. Now, obviously, they've been banning out hero right now, but Zenith, we'll see if they want to do like a Juggernaut off lane. They've been known to do that, but let's hold with their bated breath.
The Morphling ban, you know, it's funny because Fnatic has been running this masterfully for Era, and VP in the past they've had their tensions with Team Fnatic, but we've seen them here. Well, they'll ban out the Morphling on the side of Zenith, showing some respect towards VP's split push and just elusiveness. And if you look at Zenith right now, they actually don't have that much lockdown. There's no silences. There's only a Naga Net, familiar stuns, and the Homie Missile, which isn't really a great lockdown spell. So I'm curious what this final pick from Zenith will be, but I feel like something like a Lina or a Leshrac would be a great way to round it out.
Yeah, I think right now Zenith have heroes that are good at deflecting pressure. They will not fight too much in the laning stage. They're not going to be actively seeking for kills. What they want to do is make it safely to the mid-game stage where the big AoE team fight could take over, because it doesn't matter if you have, you know, a tower up, like with a Chen push or something like that, when you just get 4-man wiped and pushed the other way back.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot as though Naga Siren will be a farmer this game, but it is possible to run Visage and Naga as support. So if you do that, probably Gyro's the safe lane farmer, and then they do need a mid. VP will have to see if they've anticipated that correctly from Zenith, but generally it's been Ice on the farming role the past couple of days.
I wonder if a VP is actually considering an axe pick. It's a strategy that we've been kind of talking about on and off, but at the same time, very bad against Visage.
He's also really bad against Gyrocopter.
Very bad against Naga as well.
Yeah, because when you're creep skipping, you have no creep support, which means you tank the full Rocket Barrage. So I don't know if you can really go for it here, to be honest.
I'm not sure as well. But we'll see what Virtus Pro think. As they're actually down to about 25 seconds. They take about like a full minute so far.
I mean, you know the crowd's going to go wild if they do pick it. Do they have anything else creative that they could pull out of the back pocket?
They do support Zeus. They do Brewmother sometimes, which is a hero that we haven't seen often. They do crazy stuff.
Anti-Mage. Well, you need a win. You turn to the Anti-Mage. It's a best of one, so why not? Are there any? There's not a lot of lockdown here on Zenith, and now Zenith with this final pick, do they need to pick up some more?
They do. There's not much knockdown so far, but what they got is actually a good Naga Siren and Snare, one of the kind of the most amazing spell to deal with Anti-Mage. Your Darkseer Wall is actually not bad.
Do you think you go for a Shadow Demon here?
Shadow Demon will be good. It depends on whether they play Naga as a support or not. We don't know, so it's hard to say.
It's hard to say. Maybe Zenith haven't made that decision yet.
Invoker!
Here we go! Oh boy! Now Zenith has 3 Invoker players. They've got Yamate, Ice, and XY. Who's it gonna be? Ice, Exhort Invoker, XY, Wex Invoker. We're just gonna have to wait to see. And actually, we know it now. It's Ice on his Invoker. Sunstrikes are coming.
This actually reminds me back in TI2. I think it was Ice against Complexity. Or the old Team Liquid, where he was sunstriking the hell out of.
The last time Ice was seen playing Invoker, he was crushing North America's hopes and dreams.
Yes. Well,
he's playing VP here.
Well, maybe he's going to crush some Russian hearts tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Illidan Stormrage onto the Anti-Mage. We'll introduce our teams now. Best of 1. Loser goes home. Winner moves on to play IG later this evening. Arsart on the Rubik, formerly known as Mr. Arsart. He's downgraded, at least for this game. Illidan Stormrage. He'll be playing the Anti-Mage. Crazy on the Queen of Pain. KSI. I'm not even going to try that Bruno pronunciation. Kasi, handling the clockwork. That leaves NS on the Chen. And on the Radiant side, we have Team Zenith, X-Freedom, Half Pinoy. He's onto the Naga Siren. Yamate, or NWP, on the Gyrocopter. One of the most celebrated Southeast Asian Dota players of all time. Ice, your solo mid Invoker. Not sure if he's going to Exhort yet, but we're going to find out soon. Ice, support Visage, and then to the safe lane, they're putting XY, the Darkseer.
Very, very interesting lane coming out from Zenith here. I do believe this is support Naga. At the same time, she also has a poor man shield. This is confusing.
Yeah, generally, we've actually seen this a lot from teams. They'll go for the support Naga. You get a poor man shield, and it basically makes Naga unkillable. She wants to be in the front lines to throw out the net, and with a poor man shield, you just don't take damage. I was talking to Extinct about it today, and he hates playing against support Naga, because that hero just doesn't die.
I mean, we kind of joked about this in the past, but I think this is one of the few times we see a carry player Yamate pulling X-Freedom a couple of tangles and styles. What is going on right now?
That's teamwork. That's teamwork. And ultimately, if you look at this Zenith tri-lane, there is so much burst damage, especially if they go for the Sunstrike build. Ice, we has not skilled anything yet.
Oh, Exhort.
It's Exhort. No surprises there. Hellfire is going to rain down from the sky soon, Lumi. And they have great setup. The Naga net, the big one, if you're VP, you actually have no easy way to disengage, but what they're looking to do is actually dodge that tri-lane. Arsart heading down towards the bottom lane. They'll park KSI top. The Cogs might end up being his own death, but at least if you're losing a hero, it's just your clockwork, not your anti-mage.
I mean, it seems a little bit awkward to have an offensive anti-mage, but he's going to basically sit here and practically have free farm. At the same time, you have a Chen in the enemy jungle. That means Invokers should be very easily ganked on the mid lane. They're trying to set up something on crazy mid, but they really just don't have that lockdown aside from the Naga and Snare.
Yeah, they actually don't have any sentry ward, so they can't deward this. They're not going to be able to wrap around and pick them off right now. Early glyph used must have been nerves or a misclick by the Dire. Not the biggest deal. Zenith isn't really looking to push too early. NS on the offensive jungle. Early wildkin for him, and now trying to zone X-Freedom off of the lane. For the time being, 2 supports here for Zenith. Now, in the past, we've seen Chen as a great way to deal with Visage because his creeps don't really care about your soul assumption, and then he goes from the high ground, looking to slow them down. Grave Chill's up. They're trying to duke it out a bit. The Tornado's there. They're lifting X-Freedom. Stunning Ice. Arsart muscling forward. Now X-Freedom. He needs some help. Here it comes. Sunstrike's on the mark. And first blood is going to Zenith. NS down. Zenith with an early rotation. Catch them with their pants down.
He just goes back to the Naga Siren with a poor man's shield. He just does not care. And here we go. They could be making another play.
No net yet, so they can't go for that kill. But I mean, that's Ice for you. Generally, when we've seen Exhort Invoker, you like setup for it, but he doesn't need it there.
Yeah, well, we have not really seen Ice miss too many Sunstrikes, and I don't think so far. He's 1 for 1 so far.
He's a sniper. Yeah. It's early. We'll have to see if he can keep it up. If you're Zenith, though, your anti-mage is getting good, or rather Virtus Pro. Illidan's getting great farm in the off lane. Until they actually get level 2 on X-Freedom, there's no way to kill him. So they'll sack their anti-mage a bit, perhaps later on, but early on, he's going to have a good time. And here comes a wraparound from Arsart. Invoker may be in trouble. No boots up yet. Arsart lifting him back, throwing him to the low ground. Beautiful toss. Maximum time wasted for Ice trying to get back. He's low. He can't juke and he goes down. And that was a smokeless gank. Fantastic early movement from VP.
X-Freedom a little bit slow coming back to mid lane, but that lift was why they got the kill. Crazy now should have the lane advantage.
Yeah, generally your initial reaction is just throw him straight back. But when you throw him down here, he's got to run around and then back up the ramp. It takes longer and it made the difference.
Yeah, Ice still a level 2 at this point. In fact, they're going to go for a Sunstrike kill. That's going to miss.
They need level 2 on X-Freedom. I mean, he got the first kill, but VP, maybe they haven't played too much against Exort Invoker lately because, hell, it hasn't been played at all, but you quickly will readjust. It's like riding a bicycle. You'll remember how to do it real fast. And VP, this is where they just need to start juking and jiving and force Zenith to use Lockdown to land those Sunstrikes.
Well, perhaps we might see a kill attempt on the bot lane. C has been rotating in, but here comes a Grave Chill. We do see Darkstar gaining on him. Here comes the Surge. There's a Grave Chill. No cogs. Oh, he trapped him in. And now C in huge trouble. A couple more hits going to do it. And there's a Soul Assumption. That's going to be a free kill. There goes Sunstrike for the kill ensured, but it was not even necessary.
Yeah, Ice, he could use that gold to be sure, but hey, they'll get it nonetheless. And Zenith off to a decent start here, 2-1. Anti-Mage farming well. Now they've rotated Illidan back to the top lane, and it looks like Zenith will go with the offensive tri-lane. VP, though, with an early stack, getting some good levels and support. And NS is the X factor here. If he gets the right creeps, then Zenith's ability to dive and be aggressive will be severely hampered.
At the same time, though, Naga Siren has set level 2. You talked about the importance of having that Ensnare, just even as a setup spell for the Sunstrike. So I really think that Ice needs a little bit of mana right now, and they could go for yet another pickoff.
Again, Zenith not starting with Sentry Wards, to me, it really limits their options here. They can't deward the camp, they can't stop the VP pulls, and on top of that, if they want to go ganking, it's going to be spotted out. There's no smoke up yet for them, so VP pretty much know what's coming their way. There shouldn't be any surprises.
Well, the Sunstrikes are definitely surprises.
Yeah,
those you cannot ward against.
Yeah, those you can't ward against. Ice. I mean, we've talked a lot about the Sunstrikes, but if you look at the lane, and this is one of the main reasons we don't see Invoker anymore, his laning stage just isn't as strong nowadays, especially if you go Exort build. It makes Shadow Strike harassment very obnoxious. Already, Crazy's doing a magnificent job of dominating the lane. 23-9, Ice, 11-2. And the reason Invoker's weaker in the lane is, well, his base damage is just pretty awful, even going Exort.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of extra regen thanks to the Quas regen, so this hero's quite difficult, or quite complex to say the least, if this is the first time you're watching professional Dota. So do expect Ice to make huge plays and go through possibly 10 spells on him.
Yeah, there's a lot of spells to work through. He's not going to be using them all early, but later on, if it goes late enough, we could be in for a treat. Illidan's farming, though. The Queen of Pain for Crazy farming very well. To me, despite the flashy start that Zenith have had, I actually think it's VP are in the comfort zone here. Clockwork in the offlane, getting some experience. He's already level 5, in fact. I mean, if I'm VP, I'm actually pretty happy with this game right now.
Yeah, and Ice should basically check on Xyz's level anytime he can, because once this guy hits level 6, I think a gank to the mid lane is basically warranted. Ice, he doesn't have his Wex yet, so he does not have access into Ghostwalk, and if he gets ganked, he's an easy kill.
Yeah, Ghostwalk did get buffed recently. I believe it is a little bit cheaper in terms of the mana cost, but for the time being, Ice, not choosing to invoke it or use it, sitting back on the high ground, no ganks really since the early game. It's gotten a bit quiet for Zenith. They're not shutting down Illidan's farm that much. They are getting good farm on their Gyrocopter. And even if Zenith do lose the laning stage, right now it seems slightly in VP's favor. You have to remember that in the mid game, they have a massive team fight combination. You can't count them out.
I mean, we're talking about Sleep, Vacuum, into Call Down, into the big Meatball Meteor Strike. So it's just a ton of damage output. Also, I'm wondering exactly what is Ice going for in terms of skill or item build. Are we going to see Yule Scepter? Are we going to see Hannah Midas? Or maybe a Dendy Blink Dagger, for example? There's just a ton of options, and we'll see what he thinks.
Hold that thought. Top lane, there's a net on Illidan. No Sunstrike yet.
Oh, there's
Here
a
it comes. Oh, just off the mark.
He would have got that kill. It was pure damage output, so it doesn't matter if there's a single level spell shield.
Yeah, VP, meanwhile, though, they might have the more successful gank. Ice, he's got to stay back here. Level 7 on Crazy. Could almost solo kill Ice. If he gets lifted, he is so dead. Arsart gets Cold Step under the tower. Now driven back low and dead. Ice fighting a kill. 1v2. Juking in the trees. Still alive. Standing strong. He's done it. This guy is so hard to kill.
Ice just amazing. He saw the gank, immediate invoke into a Cold Snap, drop down to Rubik, and Rubik unfortunately tossed him even closer to himself.
He could go for a solo killer in Crazy if he's not careful.
Yeah.
Cold Snap. Oh, there is a blink available.
I'm not sure whether he has enough mana for this Cold Snap, invoke into a Sunstrike for the kill.
Yeah, I believe he might be just a tiny bit short, but he's close. And, you know, in 90, I'd say like the 99% of players in that situation would try to run from Rubik, and then you're dead.
Yep.
You get lifted up, thrown back into the Centaur, but Ice, great presence of mind. Arsart was going to tank the tower, so he runs in and he Cold Snaps him, and then picks up the kill, and then lives, which was just an added bonus.
See, looking for a hook because he has a support Rubik looking for a gank.
He hasn't gone for max battery assault though, which is the much better early game killing build. So even if they get a hook, I'm not sure they can kill XY. He's already pretty tanky.
Yeah, he definitely is. Doesn't have any magic stick charges or magic stick at all, but see, really, well, we'll see if he's going to harass him down with some rocket flare.
Still, the anti-mage farming actually not so well. Illidan driven off the lane, nearly died earlier. I thought he would be farming because he was earlier, but Zenith have done a nice job of recovering, catching up, and slowing down his farm. And on top of that, the Queen of Pain, I mean, that is the big sort of green light here for VP. Crazy having a fantastic start. 500 gold up on him, already his basics, and he can start to work towards that next big item.
Yeah, Illidan not farming well, I think that's a byproduct of the skill build that Yamate has gone for. He's gone for Max Rocket, which is not a standard item skill build that we see from a lot of gyrocopters. He's not going to kill the anti-mage with this Max Rocket, but he's going to just basically force him off the lane, and basically means Illidan's not going to get too much farm.
Meanwhile, Arsart and NS only level 3, starting to fall really far behind, and he's even got a Wildkin. He could be catching up, but instead, he's looking to force a gank bottom. This is one of the hardest heroes in the game to gank. This is a pretty low percentage gank, to be honest, and if you look at Zenith now, top lane, on to Illidan. Illidan gets blown up. Easy pickings and a tier 1 to fall. Zenith just having the more efficient movement here. Early on it was VP, but that one gank failing mid, and particularly NS's Chen. Generally, I mean, we've seen Chens are level 5 at 3.5 minutes.
I mean, we saw that level 8 Chen from LG in the other day, so... I mean, right now it kind of scares me for Virtus Pro, because we talk about Zenith as one of the smartest team. They're kind of the best team, but sometimes they're not gluing together. But this game, they're playing crisp. There's no mistakes so far. We see great individual play from Yamate. We see huge plays from Ice. I mean, when these guys are playing on their top form, and so far they have been, I'm not sure whether VP can handle them.
Yeah, they're a very hot and cold team. They're not at their best. They can beat the best, that's for sure. I mean, consistency is part of ranking the teams, and I don't think Zenith has it as of late, but we'll see if they can start to acquire consistency. You win this game, you move on to play IG in a best of 1, and Zenith, you go a month or two back, they were actually handling IG.
They were beating IG
easily.
without bans, to say the least.
Yeah, they were just rolling over them. So if Zenith do go on to win this game, I wouldn't count them out, but here comes another rotation from Menez. Level 4 now, he's found something in the jungle. And truth be told, you can't. VP is the kind of lineup that it. Well, here we go on to Yamate. Oh, well,
great game.
Farming. I mean, this is pretty aggressive from him. You look at the vision for Zenith, and they don't see anything in the jungle. And there's a bunch of heroes off the map. NS just showed his face bottom. Even maybe looking to dive this. That would be pretty bold. Elgato taking a bit of damage will be okay. And Zenith, they'll start to push this mid lane.
Really smart play here, sending your Force Spirit, draw away the creep wave, and make sure that your siege units, your creeps are doing a little bit of damage. Ice, if you look at him, he's going for a Hanamitis, and the reason that you go Hanamitis on a Exort Invoker is you want to get all of your levels as soon as possible, and of course, you get a ton of levels when you're using each activation of Midas.
Yeah, even though Hanamitis is most well known for what its name says, which is giving you gold, it's actually more useful generally for the levels, and Invoker is one of, if not the most level dependent heroes in the game, then certainly up there. So getting the early Hanamite is fantastic pickup for him. Often, if the Invoker has a bad start, I'll skip it. But hey, Ice, admirable recovery after an early, slightly slow start. He's in good shape now. And I really like how Zenith have moved the lanes around. Now XY's at the top lane, level 8, nearly a mech completed, and he's not the kind of easy kill that Yamate is. So they'll give their most survivable hero the most dangerous lane. Really smart movements from Zenith.
Yeah, the Hanamitis also has an added benefit against Chen, which I don't think he'll wait on using the activation, but you know, if the activation is there, you will use it.
You can use it to kill a Chen creep, you get the gold, you get the experience, and you also weaken the Chen's army. Here comes Zenith though, grouped up on the bottom lane, Reign of Basilius online, as well as drums for Yamate. It's activated and they're pushing. They'll back off now, but Zenith are just doing a nice job. It's a great split push lineup, and what makes it stronger is Sunstrike, because it gives them that extra burst. If anyone shows their head, gets netted, they're probably dead.
Even though Zenith is only leading by 2,000 to 3,000 gold right now, I feel like they're very far ahead, because this lineup, all they want to do is get past the laning stage. If they come off the laning stage even or ahead, they're happy, because their team fight in the mid game is just marvelous. Of course, fall down, sleep, that kind of stuff is going to destroy Virtus Pro. What have they done? Virtus Pro's got strength threats on our anti-mage, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing like a Battle Fury. And in fact, he's being harassed. I mean, he's in front of the tier 2 tower, and he really even can't farm. Look at XY playing so aggressive.
Yeah, that's the other. Oh, KSI trying to go for a hook here. Pump faking, but Ice 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 is invis. And that's at a Sentry, but that's just not a high percentage engagement. They'll back off, they'll play it safe, but Ice 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 wanting to go. He's got a belt of Giant Strength up. Oh, Sunstrike's there, Cold Snaps in.
Nice.
If Crazy had chosen to walk the other way, that's an easy kill. Top lane, hook onto XY, tapped onto the enemy tower, could drop a wall, out of mana, Mana Void's in, and he's gonna fall. VP, give him another kill, but bottom lane, big engagement, Crazy with a massive ult, good damage from him, but now the turnaround comes from Yamate. Arsart low, one more hit should bring him down. He can, Mr. Arsart lifts him up, throws him down. Queen of Pain does fall to a nice Visage nuke.
Rocket, oh my goodness. Just missing.
The building's blowing up, and somehow Yamate jumps out and lives to tell the tale. Meanwhile, a tower falls mid. Zenith, overall, they get a tier 1 mid. That's a great trade for them.
I mean, it doesn't matter if they lose a Darkseer up top or lose a hero on the bot lane. It just matters as a team, they're actually doing well, and so far they're leading.
And he bought either before he died or just had the goal, but I think it was just before he died, so he didn't lose anything there and get to complete a mech online. And if Zenith want to start 5-manning, the best way to deal with that 5-man is either to have the stronger 5-man lineup, which VP definitely don't at this point in the game, or to out-split push them. But they don't have a Battle Fury and Anti-Mage. To me, VP is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they are under the gun. You just want to play passive. The Rat Dota, just something they have practiced quite a bit, and let's see if they can pull off successfully.
How well have they learned from Fnatic? We're about to find out. XY pushing down the middle lane. For the time being, the Forge Spirit will fall. If you're Zenith, I think you go for these tier 1s, or these tier 2s even that are remaining. Put some pressure on them. You don't have to dive the tower, but you've got the mech advantage. The only thing they don't have, which I would like to see, is a Song of the Siren for X Freedom. But if they find 1 or 2 kills, they'll have it. Meanwhile, the Familiars for Zenith. Scouting things out. They will receive Crazy rotating back. Actually, I don't think they saw him. They do have pretty limited vision. But here comes the initiation. X Freedom. He could find a net. This will be a huge kill. Crazy able to leap away just in the nick of time. But I think Zenith, they're fine with not getting that kill. They could just push this tier 2.
Yeah, they don't have something like 2 Forge Spirit, for example, to kind of accelerate that push, but they will try to do so. I really think that Virtus Pro should sacrifice his tier 2 tower and try to get a little bit more out of the map. If you engage right now, you see Ice Ice Ice, he's got already Meteor invoked. I think if they team fight against Zenith, they will lose.
They'll definitely lose the team fight. There's just no way for VP to take it unless Zenith dive the base. Zenith, they are known for sometimes over.
They do like to dive bases.
It's a little early for that, even for Zenith. This is an elimination match. Radiant Glyph comes out. They'll actually back off. This pace and the fact that Zenith aren't finding kills or taking tier 2s is honestly to VP's advantage.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can see that Anti-Mage got 2 pickoffs with his ultimate. He's slowly getting his Battle Fury. And once you do get to that Battle Fury, you're kind of like Superman farming status.
Yeah, Zenith have some lockdown, but I'm not sure if they have quite enough to deal with a farmed anti-mage in the mid-game, especially because of all the backup he has. Great counter initiation from Arsart's Rubik, the Chen heals, and the hooks. Here we go. Yamate could get caught out. There's a blink, and now he's low. Queen of Pain ult, they blow him up.
And again, we talked about earlier that when Zenith is on key, they don't lose to anybody, but random pickoffs here and there. We saw, XY dying up top, Yamate dying up top twice, and Anti-Mage always a benefactor of those kills. He's basically just 13 to 1400 away from that Battle Fury. And to be honest, kind of with the way that he started the game, he's actually very well on track.
He's doing a really nice job of catching up, to be honest. You look at the net worth, and he's barely behind it all. And once he gets to Battle Fury Zenith, they're not stacking, well, they've stacked the Ancients once, but they're not farming the stacked Ancients. They're not really prioritizing those stacks. So if they just sit back and farm, that Anti-Mage should be able to play catch-up nicely. Now they group up mid. They have the double Forge Spirits. It significantly increases their ability to push. Now with 4 points in Quas and Exort, you do get access to those. And now, we'll see if they commit to this. Still no big items on Ice Ice Ice, but getting close to a Force Staff or a Eul Scepter.
Yeah, it seems like it's hard for Zenith to get too much done. I really think that they need a BKB on Gyrocopter before they can make this full committal push. And
but those deaths from Yamate are really slowing it down.
That's 2 death up top, and of course he's not farming. Though he does pick up a double damage. I think that's go time for the tier 2.
Yeah, you've got a level 3 vacuum. It should be enough to get a good initiation up. A lot of it just comes down to KSI. Can he...
X Freedom is not level 6 yet. There's no song. There's no setup.
They could surge him into a net. It looks like that's what they want to do. Surging forward. X Freedom in front. Looking for Arsart. He's found him. Sunstrike to fly. Arsart is going to get blown up in a double familiar stun. Secures the kill. with Arsart dead, the way to the tier 2 mid lies open.
Yeah, the Force Spirit tanking the tower a little bit. Yamate with double damage should seal the deal here. Deny attempt from the Chen creep, perhaps? No, there's nothing.
So if you're Zenith now, I think that's a great start. You don't, ideally you want to kill this anti-mage, delay the Battle Fury. I would like to see some aggressive wards here because VP are pretty starved on their supports. Chen has to finish this mech, so he's not going to be buying any. And then you look at the Rubik, he's picked up one set of observers, but if you get some early aggressive wards, I'm not sure VP will feel confident even to deward them. Illidan now playing whack-a-mole, blinking through the trees. He'll TP out and he'll go bottom. I mean, VP, we talked about Rat Dota, and basically what it is just dodging fights and split pushing until you're so strong they can't beat you. So far, they're doing a decent job of it. Zenith will continue to bring the pressure, though.
Very smart item pickup here from both teams. You can see Ice has a Force Staff. It used to be one of the go-to item for the O-Invoker. Nowadays, just kind of a very effective item to get away from that Clockwork Cogs.
And the reason Lumi's saying that is the Force Staff used to give you a little bit more for just right-click power. It gave you some attack speed. It was more effective that way, but it's still a very useful utility item.
Meanwhile, if you look at Queen of Pain, going for that BKB, very, very important that you survive the AoE barrage and could go to do whatever that she wants to be doing.
For now, they'll group up and they'll push the tier 2 top. Ice isn't there, but it's kind of like that global hero that can just show up at any time. So I like how they're using him, almost like a Spectre in some ways. But they will gank at bottom. That's not so good. Blown up, they get a kill, but the tier 2 top, well, there's a glyph available. Do they look to defend this? With the nukes coming out, it looks like they might try. XY in the front lines, rockets splashing through, the tower falling fast. Yamate, he'll have his BKB if this is up. Illidan looking for an opportunity to leap. He's isolated Ice, Grave Chilled for now. X-Freedom has the song, will he drop it? They could look for a call down combo. Zenith have that AoE. VP marching forward, Invis on Crazy. He doesn't have his ult though, remember that. We could maybe see a buyback, nothing yet. Zenith retreating as a pack, a very safe and stable retreat. The tier 2 is denied.
VP need to back
and
right
Zenith
now.
are looking to fight. X-Freedom, he's got Song. Not going to use it for a single kill.
Yeah, VP had an Invis Queen of Pain and they want to get something happen, but as Invoker respawns and there's a quick TP to tier 1 top, you're going to just get wombo combo from 100 to death. So Crazy still Invis, looking for anything, but he's got to be very careful. A single ensnare means he's dead.
They're maybe looking to initiate Crazy right now. He might catch a straggler here. X-Freedom by himself. Nets in.
Crazy.
Held in position. Familiar stuns. Dropping fast. Ice jumping forward. Is he going to fall? He does. Barely killed off. A great anti-mage ult. Picks up a return kill. Will Zenith re-engage? Where's that call down? Ice is here. No gyrocopter just yet. He's still bottom. Now in comes a deafening blast. A few heroes to fall. KSI driven off. These minions are just doing too much damage.
Oh my god, see? Sunstrike! He nukes them down! Ice! Double kill, not just done yet. They want these Chen creeps. They will get those Chen creeps. He's just marvelous.
Nuclear launch detected. Ice.
God.
And this is why we love to see his Invoker. Whether it wins or whether it loses, he always makes those flashy plays.
Well, Battle Fury is online here. About 20-minute Battle Fury. Not the best, but given how the early game has went for Virtus.pro, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, he's done a really nice job of catching up and just not getting caught out. He's 4-1 on anti-mage against an aggressive Trine with a Gyro, a Naga, and a Visage. One of the strongest Trilines to shut down an anti-mage. You got to say, Airman's playing really well. He's not getting caught. He is finding his farm. And all you want to do if you're VP, continue to dodge fights, force pickoffs here and there, and delay Zenith from 5-manning. Zenith, the only thing they really need for that 5-man, to me, is a BKB and maybe an Aegis. BKB is on its way. Scythe is now being worked on for XY, but I would like to see Zenith force this last remaining tier 2 very soon.
Yeah, they're doing it right now. Nice blink away here. I think there is about 2 minutes that Virtus.pro could maybe look for a smart engagement when the Song of Siren is down. I think if the Song's back up, it's very hard and it really limits Virtus.pro's options. Here comes the push. And I think you just give it up if you're VP. It's hard to defend this one.
I want to point out Ice not using his Midas right now. Looks like he is saving it for a Chen creep. So this Wildkin could be dead very soon.
Crazy trying to nuke that couple away. Here comes the birds. They get one stun, the second stun dropping down here. Just a tad too slow.
Yeah, if he actually got the second stun off in time, maybe they jump the clock, but there's no need to force it. Glyph is down. No, it's actually up for Zenith. Will they use it? Tier 1 falling fast. It looks like it'll be claimed by Illidan. Now a net on Crazy. The Sunstrike to fly. Here comes the Meteor. Here comes the Meatball. NS on the run. BKB from Yamate driving it back, killing him off. And they pick off the Chen as well.
Not the worst possible low from Virtus Pro.
The Queen of Pain actually lived, though. It looks like she was sent back at the last possible second.
I mean, I think Virtus Pro actually came out okay in that engagement. We see Tier 1 going down to Illidan on the mid lane, so they basically traded Tier 1 for Tier 2. They also sort of defended without only losing a Chen, so all things considered, Virtus Pro, not the best trade in the world, but they're striking back.
Yeah, they're just doing a nice job of, again, dodging the fights, not overcommitting. Even though Zenith had an initiation there, they do kill off a support, but your VP, you trade a Tier 1 for a support, that's a decent trade. If you're Zenith, your work's not done. They have the Ancient Stack still here. Maybe they'll clear it off soon. But they're getting to that point where, although they have a great team fight lineup, I don't feel like they're quite as good at split pushing, and they're not that great at ganking anti-mage without a Scythe device. The net has a travel time. You can blink out and dodge it. And until this Darkseer gets a Scythe, I think Zenith are going to have a hard time stopping Illidan from farming.
Yeah, in theory, you have something like Cold Snap, Deathling Blaster. These are okay spells to maybe prevent his blink, but it's just not you know, too reliable.
At the same time, when they do get Scythe, boy, will they get it. Because Invoker could have one. In fact, Ice already an Ultimate Orb up. Darkseer as well. I mean, Zenith has access to late game. It's just, until those Scythes are up, it will be hard to deal with the split push.
You see that they're actually posting up, trying to get a kill on Yamate. He does have the BKB, so that's going to be a hard find. So Illidan says, let's go back to the jungle. Very surprising to see that he has not gone back for a Quelling Blade. It really will increase his farming speed. And his team needs every bit of farm that he could pick up. It looks like we're going to see a kill attempt. It doesn't matter if you BKB, if there's an ensnare, they ensnare him up. Nice BKB, that will block the Mountain Break damage, and he wants to fight back here. Basically going to melt everything. If your VP say, we're happy, we'll force out BKB charge, and wow, he's actually going back in.
Illidan playing with fire a bit here. Not going to get picked off, at least not yet. He'll blink away to the right. Should be able to retreat safely. But he's doing a nice job of wasting Zenith's time, to be honest. While he's doing that, Crazy's heading towards bottom lane. Although Zenith look to push, can they really break the base? I don't think they're in that position yet.
XY's playing ultra aggressive here in the front line, even trying to kill these Chen creeps. But meanwhile, though, like you said, a little bit of split push on the bot lane. Arzark looking for a pick-off, but Ice. Do you think he's actually going to go for a solo kill here? No, he sees Crazy. He's going to back off as well.
Well, he's about to see Crazy. He's got Ghostwalk. Is there detection up on the Rubik? There's only an Observer Ward. He's going to walk right by Crazy. Onto Arzark. Arzark in trouble. Sunstrike's here, and he could Ghostwalk. Will he get it off in time? TP's out. Ice finding a solo kill and escaping. And Crazy's got to be scratching his head. What else can he do?
I mean, that was a 1 gank against 2. Kills it, gets back out.
He could have even Ghostwalked and probably lived, but hey, TP's home. He needed to anyway. He'll be okay. Bottom lane, though, on xFreedom. Song's available. Didn't use it in time. 2 heroes backed in. They're turning it around. 1 dead. Crazy low and on the run. He's got a blink. BKB. He'll scream and pick 1 off. Great play from him. Now he needs to get the hell out of dodge. Look for the Sunstrike, though. Look for it.
Crazy, you're not safe. You think you're safe.
There's your man. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. Flag at it. Sunstrike.
Oh my goodness.
Blinks out and lives. But who else is in trouble? KSI on the run, back into the call down. Yamate marching forward. VP getting overrun here, and they lost an anti-mage. That's the one hero that simply cannot die.
Yeah, they thought they were just fighting against one, but suddenly as they jumped on, BKB gets activated as they're chasing Arzark. Arzark gonna get a full rocket to his face. Can he do anything? No, he really can't. 1 more hit, nice. Oh, the block here. He does get the kill. Queen of Pain, nice hook in here from Kiss. Can they get that kill? Couple more right clicks. Sunstrike's gonna come through. Yamate will survive. Crazy trying to seal the deal. Surge backwards. He's gonna survive as well. Blink forward. Full Russian aggression. Can they get that? Yes, they will. Crazy. He's gotta survive. He's got 15 wand charge. Should be fine. 1 more blink's gonna do it.
Should be fine, but remember the Sunstrike, not that well. Actually, sorry, he already used it. Crazy able to blink away. Should be okay. Meanwhile, Ice wrapping around. Still the aggression. Illidan jumping in. This anti-mage just wants to fight, but he could be in trouble. He's got to retreat. I mean, to me, now the way these fights are going, Illidan's coming to the fights and he died. That's going to favor Zenith. He needs to keep on farming.
Ice. They keep Valkyria, Deathling Blast. Oh, a miscue.
Yeah, invoked Ice Wall, wanted to invoke Cold Snap, but even then, I don't think he gets that.
A rare miss from Ice.
Yeah, that's one of the more difficult ones not to mess up. That Q key.
Yeah.
They'll get you every time. And so if you're Zenith now, you've got lane wards in pretty much the entire map, so you mostly see where VP's coming from. I'd like to see them get a gem, and well, actually they already have one, and go for Roche soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to pick it off if you have double Force Spirit. Things like Cold Snap will help out as well. But really, for Virtus Pro, they're kind of down, but it goes back to what they need to do. Just don't take fights. It's very, very hard for Zenith to go on the high ground despite having so much AoE, because once you're fighting up against the hill, you're dealing with fog, you're dealing with mischance, you're dealing with the fact that you're clumping up yourself. So Virtus Pro has a natural defense advantage, and they should really take advantage of that. Keep farming Illidan. The game rests on your shoulders.
It looks also like Zenith really want these Scythes of Ice before they force that next fight. You get the Sheep Stick, you've got a lot of additional lockdown, and instead of Illidan blinking away, or instead of Crazy Poppy's BKB, you sight them, they're probably going to fall.
Yeah, I'm not really sure whether Illidan's going to have time to go back to the Manta style. I think he might just have to go Yasha back into BKB because these Cypher fights are coming really soon. And even if they don't have Cypher just yet, it's just simply good to block all those magical and AoE damage coming out from Zenith.
I actually think you still go Manta simply because they can't, I don't think they can fight even if he's got BKB.
Okay, that's fair.
And BKB is the item you get to fight. So to me, I think he goes Manta and you just keep on dodging as long as possible.
Well,
I mean, Zenith hasn't taken Roche yet. Zenith has not directly threatened the high ground. Sure, they dive for kills, but so far, it's still a pace that VP should be okay with. They're not happy, but they're not out of it either.
Yeah, they're not pushing high ground, they're not taking Roshan, but what they have done really well is the fact that they're farming an enemy jungle. That really will cut down Anti-Mage's farm room. Like, where does he actually farm? If he can't farm the lane, he wants to dodge in the jungle, but there's no lane, there's no jungle. In fact, he has to farm in the enemy jungle, and speaking of the enemy jungle, Virtus.pro, 2 gankers looking for anything, but there's none.
Yeah, I like the way they're playing this, which is basically you rotate around the enemy jungle. If you find a pickoff, that just delays Zenith's push, and it allows you to get some more farm on Illidan. Every kill is going to buy you a minute or two at least. Here comes Zenith, though, grouped up towards the top lane. It's a weird timing window if they try to go now, because XY is like 200 gold away from Scythe, and Ice has the Mystic Staff. He's only about 900, 800 away. So I don't think Zenith will commit, but they might just sort of chip away and see if they can force a TP reaction.
Yeah, so far, Virtus.pro not making too many mistakes. Yamate being forced to TP back. So yeah, Virtus.pro has bought them some time, but in the next minute or so, the Scythes are starting to come out, and if you're anti-mage, you just can't be seen. If you're seen, you're dead.
Yeah, although they're farming the enemy jungle, you can't really starve anti-mage and Queen of Pain this way, because they can just go farm the other side of the map. Here, though, comes Yamate, rather X-Freedom, surged in, looking for a net, can't find it yet. Now, a beautiful steal! Steals Mirror Image, will it matter? Doesn't look like it. One more hit, yes it does! He's gonna live!
Yamate's making, no, he does not make the dive. If he popped his drums, he could have done it.
Okay, so for anyone who's scratching their heads right there and saying, what the hell just happened? He used Mirror Image and was able to dodge the net.
Man,
beautiful play.
Just amazing.
If you time it there just right.
In huge trouble right now. The Rocket Barrage forced to pop his BKB. A couple more hits gonna do it. Just got ran down by Yamate.
Wow, Gyro running down a Quap with no lockdown there, no call down needed. That's something you don't normally see.
Yeah, face and not even the drums activation. So we're going to see a little bit of high ground group. Zenith says, you don't have your Quap, nice cogs. That's going to slow it down a little bit.
The familiars don't care. They fly right over and keep on going. Here come your Forge Spirits. Zenith can hurt this tower a whole lot. There is a glyph available. You can see right now Illidan's trying to push out that top lane, going for a tier 1. But the tower starting to fall quickly. Familiar scouting things out. The Sunstrike. Just simple harassment.
This is what Ice did last year in TI2. Just send 2 Force Spirit on a support.
Look at this.
And just Sunstrike him. Like, I think our stash master, IXMI, has felt it a couple of times on his Lich last year.
He's felt the pain of the Ice Orbital Ion Cannon. And here Zenith goes into the Roche pit. Now you'll see a smoke picked up by the Rubik. VP, though, fighting in this pit, fighting near that pit. It all comes down to a beautiful clockwork hook. KSI scouting it out. Rocket comes in. If they want to jump this, I mean, VP's got just enough that they might be able to take it, but it's going to be a hard fight.
They got 3 here that could go into the Roshan pit very quickly, so...
The one thing I really dislike is Yamate's taken so much damage now.
Oh, they see Ice. Song's going to slow things down. Where's the call down? Did you see it? Oh, the Illidan! He just gets blown up! Arsar's on the run, but here comes Ice. The right click, they're hurting so much. Not going to get the kill just yet. The Urn's going to do it. Meanwhile, on the back line here, Virtus from making a comeback. X-Freedom really, really low. They're going to focus on NS. He's trying to dodge with entry. Huge buyback from Illidan. Oh my god, the nukes, the deeps. Anti-Mage still blinking around looking for that kill, but he just doesn't have the lockdown. XY very tanky on the run. We do have buyback coming back in here. Is Ice. Does he have the cold snap? Every spell on cooldown. He misinvokes. Force that forward. We'll have. Oh no, everybody just blinks back out.
What a slam dunk from Illidan. He jammed that in for sure. Now Zenith, they've used a couple of fresh buybacks. In fact, if you look at it, 4 heroes bought back, 2 on each team. Zenith say, now we still have cooldown. We've got our BKB on our Gyro fairly soon. We're going to clear out this middle lane and we're going back into Roche. You don't have Mana Void, you don't have Hook yet, and your Clockwork's dead. I think Zenith should be able to take this Roche.
I mean, again, Virtus.pro has 3 blinkers in a sense on their side. They have the 2 blinks on Quap and Anti-Mage, and of course there's a Clockwork Hook. There's no Song of Siren up on Virtus.pro. It's a very easy hook in, drop a couple cogs, and in theory, Virtus.pro can't steal the Aegis.
Crazy, looking for the leap, might be able to steal this Aegis. Not gonna go. Now, and the other thing was Ice bought back, which does delay his Scythe device, although in spite of that, it is coming very soon.
Looks like Yamate has picked up the Aegis. Not that he really needs it. He's been doing quite well. Aside from his 2 early game def, he's been doing a ton of early game damage. 18 levels on him, and Flat Cannon is really killing, for example, Chen and the Rubik.
Manta Style is now up for Illidan, and this is the point where an anti-mage can really split push effectively. Not only is he going to clear the waves quickly with his Battle Fury, but when he works on towers, he's got 3 anti-mages working on them. So the split push just got stronger, and if you're Zenith, your work is not done yet. You have not broken high ground. Anti-mage and Quap starting to find their next level of farm. You see Crazy working towards the site device. Zenith in control, but this game not over.
Yeah, Zenith should basically say, anti-mage, whatever lane you go into, we follow you with our site device, because any single pickoff on anti-mage, which means that they probably have the game won, because if anti-mage buys back, I mean,
he can't.
He's not buying a next item.
Good luck buying back. It's on cooldown and he needs the gold as well, but maybe it comes in a little bit. The one thing that does concern me for VP is they do need to split push, else they will have to fight 5v5 soon, and Zenith should have the edge there. And unfortunately, split pushing against double scythe device is very dangerous. If one scythe hits you and you turn into a piglet, you're almost certainly dead.
Yeah, there's a very cute interaction between Chen and our Invoker. Invoker makes 2 Forge Spirit. Chen says, thank you for the creeps. In fact, those Forge Spirits are better than any creep you can pick up right now in terms of damage output. But there's that sacrifice up on Ice Ice Ice.
Yeah, Forge Spirits do reduce their target's armor by 1 with every auto attack. So the more you're hitting them, the lower their armor goes, and then your anti-mage can really start to pack a punch. Zenith, though, they're just doing a nice job of keeping all the lanes pushed in, which not only denies the anti-mage's farm, but also the other heroes in VP. And Illidan, sure, he's got a Manta Style. He needs a lot more. He needs that next item, a heart, a butterfly, or maybe even a BKB. Because against Double Hex, if you don't have one, I mean, you're going to be in a lot of trouble in these fights.
Slow Siege coming out from Yamate. I mean, the gold and as well as experience graph, very ugly number for Virtus.pro right now. But as we seen have earlier in the day, I mean, DK versus IG, is it a numbers game? A lot of time it is, but Virtus.pro holding on for the dear life.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is that IG got to leave their base on that game. I'm not sure if VP get to leave their base this game. Zenith now onto the high ground, 2 Forge Spirits up, an army of illusions, as well as creeps coming forward. Everything is on the side of Team Zenith right now. Menagerie, hook in, but the sleep's there. Crazy's blinked into it. There's a call down available. They're trying to time it right. Are they backing up? BKB from Crazy. Where's that call down? Just not being dropped. Yamate skipping it. XY now dropped, blown up by a big Mana Void. Yamate working on Arsart, sent home. He dodges a bullet in. Illidan blinks away. Everybody escaping out. Where was the call down in that fight?
Yeah, he wanted to see a better group, but looks like Virtus.pro has successfully made a defense. I think they survived the huge wombo combo of Zenith, only lost a tier 3 tower that bought themselves basically a couple minutes of farm.
I mean, the big thing is they have a butterfly now on Yamate, and they still have the Aegis. So even though it was a rather mediocrely executed team fight, they took a tier 3, and they can go for round 2 before this Aegis expires.
Right. What Virtus.pro need to do right now is get the creeps basically on this part of the map, or at least across the river, because if Zenith have to deal with every single creep wave, they really aren't pushing. Illidan wants to split push, but again, he has to respect Scythe of Ice. If he just gets blink and gets caught, he's done.
And the other reason he's really got to respect it is look at the vision for VP. They're in the dark right now. Even farming this small camp is basically just saying, I hope Zenith is off healing and not looking to force a fight, because he does not have any idea where the enemy team is. At most, they control this area of the map.
Yeah.
He'll push out the lanes now, and he'll try to stall. But I would be very surprised if Zenith doesn't force a fight. And they should do it on the bottom lane again, because that's where the tower is down.
They won't have Song of Siren back up just yet. It's going to be back in about 30 seconds. Once that's up, I think they should make it go. At the same time, Aegis, I think it's going to be running out in about 2 minutes or so. So still a lot of time for Zenith to make that push.
This is where VP would love to find a pickoff. You kill anyone. I mean, even the Visage perhaps loses the gem. That might just drive Zenith off the lanes. It gives you some precious time. And by the time the Roshan number 2 comes, you've got another 4 minutes to farm. Maybe you get that next item on the anti-mage. Maybe you have a BKB. Illidan is still farming. He's finding what he can off the map. Zenith in control, but have not broken high ground just yet.
I really think that Virtus.pro is one team fight away from making a comeback, because these items, like you said, if you get a BKB on anti-mage, I mean, Crazy's almost there on the Scythe of Ice as well. So if you win these team fights without needing to use too many buybacks, without dying, for example, I mean, Virtus.pro, despite being down by 14, 15,000, they could still win this game.
Yeah, a nice job here by Illidan, pushing out the middle lane, but the Familiar's wrapping around. Double stun, that's some hate on the Wild Kid. Now Arsart aggressively force-staffed into the fray. He's in trouble, sent home, but the Meteor says, hell no. Now it's Sunstrike, absolute chaos. Ice, 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 slow. Song is on, but the BKB is preventing it from really doing a whole lot. Now Illidan jumping into the entire enemy team. He gets one, but he's gonna fall. 2 dead, and Zenith on the roll. control. They're marching towards their first lane of Rags, and I don't know if VP can stop it. Buyback on the anti-mage, but Illidan, no Manta style, no ult, and the Rex down. Zenith, a massive victory for them here.
Yeah, forcing out buyback on the anti-mage. They didn't kill the Queen of Pain, so Queen of Pain is going to pick up a Scythe as well. We have seen historically Zenith very weak to ganks, very weak to pickoffs. You see Yamate, for example, getting ganked twice in the top lane, XY getting ganks on the top lane. You just talked about that. If you find a single pickoff, you can delay this push. I mean, Virtus Pro is really far down right now, but I don't think they're giving up. One Rax sometimes just means nothing. Again, quoting back to DK versus IG, sometimes in the right environments, one Rax down for 20 minutes, you play on. And I think as you have an anti-mage, as you have a great ganker on the Queen of Pain, you can play on.
So for anyone who isn't sure, that was in fact an offensive 4-staff. There's not even a single 4-staff on the side of Zenith. Ice summoning his inner 430, pushes Arsart into the middle of his team, gets them that first kill. And this is why when we talk about Zenith, we always start with Ice, because that's a huge play. 4-staff normally thought of as a defensive item, making an offensive play here.
Lifting a tier 1 tower, that's quite low, and these anti-mage illusions should be able to do it. There you go.
Meanwhile, Zenith clearing out the Ancients, maybe looking for a second lane of Rags. I think if you're Zenith, though, you wait for Satanic on Yamate. It's not far off. You take Roche number 2, and then you force it. And if you're VP, you don't want to give that second Aegis away.
Well, again, they have triple blink. Maybe they could
maybe they can steal it.
Yeah, steal it. I mean,
Grand Theft Aegis. We could see it.
Yamate.
It's not going to be easy for them, though. I mean, going into that pit, sure, you hit a nice hook. I feel like one of them has to go in and steal the Aegis, because if the rest of the team all jumps in, even if they get it, they're jumping into so much. Call down all the sites. They don't have much to deal with the sites either. There's only the one BKB. Stealing the Aegis might just cost them the game.
That's true, too. I mean, there is Song of Siren, and generally that makes her queen around the Roshan pit. Here comes a Scythe advice. I think Virtus Pro should hide the Scythe until they find a huge pickoff. For example, let's say on Ice, or let's say on a Gyrocopter. Whether they can find it right now is huge. They're making a gank attempt up top, trying to protect the anti-mage.
For the time being, Zenith pushing in the bottom lane. They'll place an aggressive ward. This is just all about Roche. Nice wards placed in the enemy base, near the secret shop, and now down near the river. You can see their vision when it comes to Roshan is absolutely magnificent. Now, marching up the bottom lane, they'll go for a range Rex here. They'll put a little more pressure. No response yet from VP. A TP reaction forced out. Queen of Pain coming back. The range Rex will fall. Small victory for Zenith. And now, Satanic is ready for Yamate. Just has to buy it up.
Well, 3 racks for Zenith, they'll back up. I mean, all they want to do is keep exerting pressure. Forcing 3 teleport scroll back to the base means anti-mage is not pressuring your tier 2. So right now their tower up top is okay. So good pressure from Zenith, and they'll keep doing it until they win the game.
Yeah, if you're Illidan right now, this is where generally you would be pushing top and forcing Zenith back. Right. But against double sight, that's a death wish. And here we go. Yamate lifted up, thrown back in. There's a Chen net. No, just straight back down. They don't really want to go on him. Remember, he's bought the Satanic. It's coming in now. Yamate in the front lines. Everybody else positioned in the reserve. The Satanic now delivered. XY still standing back, not going for a blink. BKB will be the choice. Doesn't have it yet, though.
I feel like Zenith, I mean, I feel like they don't need to make this push, at least not right now, because sure, Zenith is so far ahead in terms of item, but you could just wait 1 or 2 minutes, secure the Aegis on Yamate, and then steal the deal.
Well, Mech's already forced. There is a glyph on VP. They're not using it yet. There's got to be a clockwork hook soon. He's found Ice. Now comes the reaction. Everything gets a little chaotic from here. X-Freedom, Scythed up, and Illidan, Deafening blasted through. Can't do a thing. Now netted, held in position. Ice, unloading his entire payload, and down goes Illidan. Storm Rage now falls again. No buyback, 2 lanes of racks, and it could very well be our GG.
Oh, I'm just barely missing on Arzar here, but that tier 3, or the Rex is going to go down. The second Rex is going to go down as well, and I think they could just go roll on top lane, ignore that Queen of Pain, and perhaps they're going to even kill him. No, they're going to just go for the Rex and force out the GG from Virtus Pro.
This could be the end for VP, and as he did not want to captain this team, and here they are, backs against the wall, KSI to fall, Zenith. Here we go. 1 more lane of racks, and they'll get closer and closer to moving on. IG is waiting. Who's going to be playing them? Arsart, he's in trouble. 2 sides, back in. Familiar stunts over the top, and Zenith are crushing their way through VP. The end is coming, and it comes now. GG from NS, GG from VP. Team Zenith are moving on to play Invictus Gaming.
And if you're IG, your palm's a little bit sweaty because this is an opponent that, I mean, Ice, you just saw in this game. I don't want to say single-handedly dominated the game, but he had a lot of fingerprints over that win.
Yeah, and you could tell VP had to react to the way he was playing. So Zenith were in the driver's seat from start to finish. They take this game. IG's waiting. Coming up next, LGD versus Liquid. We've got some exciting games ahead of us. And now, with that being said, back to James and the rest of the analysts.
Thanks, Aldi and Lumi. Zenith then pick up the win. Is this? Are you wrong, Malk? Did you?
Were
you wrong,
What? This is your fault. Suddenly I regret trying to make up with Bruno and go with his bet. I should have just stuck with Zenith.
Screw Team Jacob.
Streak ruined. Team Jacob is down.
Team Ben.
We're going to be back. Don't
we
worry.
win together, we lose together.
It just, yeah.
Great game, however. A lot of cool details in this game. I think my favorite was obviously Clockwork hooking to the anti-mage only to die from Sunstrike. Or, of course, legendary Rubik play by Azad, getting the illusions and then dodging as well.
Dodging, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, both teams incredibly high skilled in terms of individual basis, so it was really interesting to see the big team fights. And as we can see here, Wall goes down, and Virtus Pro do get something nice from this, but there's the no fun.
Crazy got caught out there. His invis just like wore off, and that set up the whole thing for them. I'm surprised he didn't notice the debuff, but after the Naga Sleep with a Song of the Siren setup, the Invoker just cleaned up, and here's the beautiful, beautiful Sunstrike from Ice Ice Ice. What a player. What a player.
Yeah, it was really nice to see the Invoker just in the game, and it did create a lot of chaos and room, and Invoker versus Anti-Mage can be pretty good as well. But
they had so much lockdown for him. There's one sheep into a net and then another sheep. There's nothing that he can do if he's not farmed. He only had Battle Fury and Manta Style as well as the Mithril Hammer, not even that close to his BKB, but it was just too much for him to handle.
Yeah, he really needed his BKB, but I think, does nets go through BKB?
Yes.
Yeah,
so even then, just being in a still position when you're up against Yamate, who's got a pretty good amount of damage with the butterfly, you probably wouldn't have won. I felt like he needed a BKB plus like a basher to be able to actually
the thing is,
take
he
the
bought
late
back
team
twice, so he lost all of his gold.
True. So what else stood out for you guys?
I mean, again, the favorites take it down. So thus far, we haven't seen any upsets. Every single higher seed has beaten the lower seed.
Well, the Invoker pick obviously stood out.
What?
The Invoker pick obviously
Yeah,
stood out.
the Invoker pick was amazing. This is one of the only few picks that wasn't so far in the tournament. There are 15 more, but before going there, I want to say that I actually know the reason why VP lost. I said that they needed ice with their vodka to actually work, but they had so much ice in ice and ice, ice, ice that there was no vodka enough. So they just, no alcohol, hard to win.
It was just all about ice. And speaking of ice, we're going to go to an interview. And Casey, I can now confirm to you the person you stood next to is really